Well, welcome to Tech and Sports, which is brought to you by itbusiness.ca. I am your host, Kevin Sylvester. Now, how many of you out there have ever wanted to own a sports team, dreamed of it? And of course, it's impossible unless you're a billionaire. Or there are a couple of exceptions. I'll grant there are the Green Bay Packers, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but unless you're a cheesehead or a prairie boy, really the stock you're going to buy in those clubs is not worth a heck of a lot of money. It's more symbolic. But there's a new initiative out there which could give you a chance to virtually own a part of your favorite team, root for them. Works a little bit like the stock market. It's AllSportsMarket.com, and it is a new initiative that allows you to buy and root for your favorite team. It's just starting to gain some traction now. Right now you can get Major League Baseball teams. Pretty soon it's going to be opening up to all the major sport leagues. It's getting a lot of attention, partially because of Broadway Bernie Nicholls, who's right over here to my left. And he's a spokesperson with ASM. And Jason Henry is with the ASM as well, Director of Marketing. And they join me today to talk about it. Welcome. Thank you very much. Didn't mean to yell and bark at you guys there. Okay, the dream that a lot of people have is to own a sports team. How do you guys help deliver that with ASM? How does this work?
Well, the main part of ASM is that you're not purchasing stock in the actual team. That's the one thing that people need to understand. It's not tied to concessions or ticket sales. It's actually derived off performance. So essentially, when you purchase the stock, you're buying in on the performance, wins, losses, draft picks, hirings and firings, etc.
So how does it actually work? So let's say you go to your website and you want to go and buy a stock in a team. How does it work right now, and how's it going to start working with the other teams?
Well, as it works right now, you sign up an account, you go in, you basically are purchasing a stock from the market. It would be an IPO.
And you can do real money or virtual money
too.
too.
There's a practice market. We've got 3,000 traders, almost 4,000 traders on right now, and for the most part, those people are converting over to the real money market, and obviously the practice market gave them that insight.
We had a free version for a year.
Yeah.
Kind of learning tool, more or less, and now started in April with Major League Baseball. You can go the real money, and I've always said as a sports person, to me, I don't know any fan that wouldn't want to feel like they own a little piece of their team.
Yeah.
And shares are $2.50, but you still have that mindset as you got invested interest in your team. To me, fantasy sports, I've never played it, but you got to pick your own team. You may not be able to pick any of your team that night, and they're playing your team, so who are you really cheering for? Yeah. Your heart, you're still cheering for your team.
How is it not gambling? Like, in a sense, like you are speculating on a team winning or losing. So how do you defend it against people who say, oh, it's just a different type of gambling?
The quick answer to that is a bet expires. When you place a bet, it has an outcome.
Like you bet on who's going to win the game tonight,
That's
for example.
Correct. So if you placed, $5 on the Blue Jays straight up to win tonight, and they lose, your $5 disappears. It's gone. With our market, if you put $5 in the Blue Jays, it would get you 2 stocks in them, 2 shares in them right off the hop. If they lose the next 10 games, you're still going to have that investment. That equity is still going to be there. So now, if they lose 50 games in a row, now that 250 might be $1.25, it could be 50 cents. But the base of that is that you don't lose your money overnight, and that's essentially where we've taken the bet out of the play.
So, is the idea, I'll be upfront with you, is the idea to maybe open this up as a gambling app later if that does actually happen, if Silver and the guys like that are successful?
Yeah, no, we're going to stand firm on what we believe. Betting's not going to stop. But what we found is that by giving people alternatives, and you can see this through society over a number of issues, you give people an alternative, quite often you'll get the split, and you'll get people starting to take that alternative. And we're going to be the alternative.
Great. Thanks very much for coming in today, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Jason,
you.
Bernie, thanks very much.
You got it.
Pleasure.